go live. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and share this out real quick. Give a second for some people to join in before we get going. I'm going to tag you too so it'll pop up. Okay. Alright. Got some people jumping in. I'll be starting in just a hot second, folks. I'm just sharing this out real quick. If you guys would go ahead and share this out to your friends. Spread the love. We're going to have a fun little conversation this evening. All right. Let's get this party started, shall we? What's up, gang? Dad Girl here. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday night. I am sitting here with the amazing Griffin Barker of Cremated Plastic. He does some really badass dioramas and miniatures. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So for the folks that don't know you or not familiar with your work, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and about Cremated Plastic?
Yeah, I started Cremated Plastic 2 years ago, and I just started making little dioramas. And then I kind of started focusing more on theme park, like Universal Studios dioramas, and it kind of went from there. But I maintain all of, pop culture, nerdy, horror, anything that I like, I try to replicate.
Awesome. So all the good stuff, basically.
All the amazing stuff, all the stuff that people like.
Very cool. So you've been doing this for a couple of years now. What kind of sparked you to start doing these dioramas and miniatures? I know a lot of people are into painting or sculpting, and you went totally different direction, which is awesome. So what made you do that?
Actually, what started it was toy photography. Taking action figures, posing them in front of sets, and taking pictures and making it look like a comic book page, but three-dimensional.
Nice.
So I took that, I went to MegaCon with it, thinking that, hey, it's original, nobody's doing this. And, hardly any prints sold, but all the dioramas I brought, sold the first day.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I'm going to change gears completely. And I did, when I got home, I completely changed gears, and I just started focusing all on dioramas.
See, that's cool. So you originally started out doing the photography and building the backgrounds, and then just kind of shifted into that based on the success of, how well they did at MegaCon.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Now, do you normally travel outside of Florida, or do you try to keep it local here within the state?
For right now, just local. That was actually my first con actually vending. So it was a big learning experience. And then going into this year, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to hit all these cons and make a name for myself. And then the Rona came, and it kind of fucked everything up.
It kind of ruined that for a lot of people, which really sucks, because you do some really unique work. I've got a lot of friends who are artists, and they all work in different mediums, and they build and create different things. So it's really cool to see some of the stuff that you create, and it's a bummer that all these events got canceled. Now I know MegaCon is rescheduled to October. Are you going to be doing their mini show, or are you going to be switching gears and trying to find another show around that time?
Mega in October. I told them I want to do it. I don't care. I want to be there. If people come, people come. If people don't come, it's understandable.
Right.
But I just want to get, I want to get out there, because last year was a blast, and I met so many cool people. Yeah. But I just want to show people more of the dioramas, since they haven't gotten to see those in person a lot.
Yeah. And vending at a con versus just going to hang out is a very, very different beast.
Oh my God, yeah. It was exhausting. I went home. Not home. I went to a hotel every night. I just passed out. I felt like I was one of those vendors at a mall, and I was just exhausted. Overly exhausted. But it was great. It was amazing. I got super sick I felt like I deserved it, so it was good.
I don't know if anybody really deserves getting sick, but I kind of know what you mean because you do. You run yourself ragged and you don't realize it until, later on that evening when you go home or back to the hotel and you're done. All you want to do is eat and just pass out.
I threw on the Golden Girls and I just passed the fuck.
I mean, to be fair, that's a pretty good thing to fall asleep to.
It wasn't bad.
Now, for the dioramas, I know you cover all different bases. How big are they that you usually create? Like, what's the biggest one? What's the smallest one that you've had the chance to do?
Well, when I did the toy photography, I built in 1/12 scale, so a human or an average male would be 6 inches. So I made buildings that were 2 feet, 3 feet tall.
Oh wow!
By 3 feet, and then it took a lot of material, took a lot of time to make those. And then for the smallest, I did a gallery show at Mize Gallery in St. Pete last year, and the theme was miniatures, and you had to do a miniature in it was 3 inches by 3 inches. So I knocked out 3 of those, 3 buildings that were 3 inches by 3 inches, and one of them was the Adrian's Pet Shop from Universal.
That's
and then
cool.
once I said that, people knew exactly what it was right away. So I was like, that's how I kind of got onto the whole Universal kick.
And for those of us that go and that frequent the parks, all the Universal stuff is definitely very, very recognizable. And a lot of the movies, of course, everybody knows stuff. Like, I know you've got a Jaws diorama.
Yeah.
Everybody's familiar with Jaws. If you went to Horror Nights last year, they had the mini arcades. I know you did some of those as well, and those were really, really cool looking. What's your time frame on doing something like that? I'm sure the larger ones take you much longer, but doing the smaller scaled ones, how long does that normally take you to do them?
Smaller scales like 2 weeks. Jaws took a month and a half. But that's not working every single day. But yeah, the bigger ones definitely take a lot more time. Like the penguin one I did was very time consuming just because of all the resin for the water. Well, shit, even the Jaws one. So if you're doing like resin for water, it takes a lot longer because you have to wait for all that to cure.
Yeah.
But for the smaller stuff, it's pretty easy. I mean, 2 weeks.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Well, that's the next question actually I was going to ask you is what do you use to create these? What are you working with? I know you mentioned the resin with the water. What are some of the other materials that you're using to create these things?
Primarily chipboard, and chipboard's it's like a pressed cardboard.
Okay.
You find it on the back of like art pads, legal pads, stuff like that. That cardboard backing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I get really dense, about 2 millimeter thick chipboard. So it's really strong, it's really sturdy, and you can sand it, and you can coat it with paint. You can do whatever you want with it, and it's really easy to glue up. So that's primarily what I use now, and then a lot of plastic, foam, paper, wood, stuff like that.
Nice. Very, very awesome. Now, do you normally, do you create at home? Do you have a studio that you use?
Yeah, my home is my studio.
I think that's the way for a lot of people, is most people are like, the garage, the side room, the back room, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I am not getting this security deposit back. That's all I got paint on the walls. I got tacky glue everywhere. But, hey, I make some cool stuff.
Exactly, and it happens. It's part of that creative process.
Exactly.
Now, where do you usually, with your ideas, with the different miniatures that you're doing, is it more like stuff that you enjoy making because you enjoy the film or the show, or are you trying to gear that towards a specific clientele?
No, it's pretty much, I'm very selfish, so it's all about me. So I build exactly what I want. Actually, I'm working on a Jurassic Park The Ride piece right now, and I've been wanting to build this ever since, before I did Jaws. And then someone messaged me and they're like, "Hey, can you do Jurassic Park The Ride?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can." So I'm very excited. I'm working on that one currently.
Nice. Can you give us a peek?
A peek? No.
Oh, come on!
There's really nothing. There's not enough to look at.
Gotcha.
It's all in the planning and the designing stages right now.
Well, that was actually, I was going to ask you, do you do custom orders? Do you work with different clients? Are you open to doing that?
Like commissions?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. If yeah, you can reach. I have a commission section on my website, so you can fill out a little questionnaire, and then we can make some magic.
Nice. And then what's the website for the folks at home that are checking this out and that maybe want to contact you?
Crematedplastic.com.
Very cool.
Keep it simple.
That's awesome. Do you have any pieces that you could show us?
Yeah, I'll show you the one that I just finished, the Polka Center.
Ah, oh yeah, I saw you post that on Facebook and your Instagram, and it looked pretty cool.
Thanks.
So that's a pretty good size little diorama there.
Well, this is 1/43rd scale.
Okay.
So every foot is 43 something. I don't know how scale works. I pretty much eyeball it, but this is roughly 1/43rd scale, and that's kind of like that's about the scale that I want to keep doing, because you can get like a lot of cool model cars that scale.
Yes.
You can get people in that scale, so
You can kind of add on to the set once you've got that basis that you've created.
yeah, exactly. And it doesn't take up too much material. You can still get a ton of detail with it. You can light it up. You can do pretty much anything with it.
Now, have you incorporated any lighting into any of your miniatures?
Oh yeah, almost all of them have lighting. Jaws didn't have lighting. The arcades don't. Okay, so let's list the ones that do have lighting.
Okay.
That Polka Center has lighting. The Penguin one has lighting. The Ghostbuster ones that I do have lighting. The containment unit, which was seen at Horror Nights in the Tribute store.
Yes.
That has lighting. That has two functions. It has the green light, and then it also has a red blinking light. So I try to incorporate lights as much as I can, because it really adds like a soul to the piece, if you will.
It gives it some life. It gives it a little extra depth, I think.
Yeah. So lights are where it goes.
Now, what are you using to light them? Are they just like itty bitty little?
Yeah, they're tiny little LEDs. I actually get them at a train store.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, can you imagine that? A train store still exists.
I'm surprised a lot of those stores have kind of gone the wayside. To find anything that's, smaller that scale, most of that stuff you got to get online now.
Yeah, exactly. This place is what's it called? Zitnik Trains.
Okay.
Little shout out there. But yeah, they have a full lighting section for buildings and trains and stuff, and cars, even lamp poles. So really the possibilities are endless for the lighting factor.
Right. Very cool. Now, have you thought about, or are you going to be incorporating any type of figures in with the miniatures, or are you just going to keep it strictly to that background scene?
I've thought about that. I don't know yet. It depends if I can get like some really good small scale people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually started looking like for people last week, like on the internet, and I was not impressed.
Oh.
So
okay.
It depends on the piece. Like, I'm thinking about doing a new Ghostbuster piece, and I might incorporate the guys in that, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Are you doing what are you thinking of doing?
For that one, I'm going to do the scene in front of Dana Barrett's apartment where the road is broken up because Gozer's coming.
Nice.
Then you got police cars everywhere. You got fire hydrants spewing water everywhere.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking right now.
That'd be cool.
Heck yeah.
Are you gonna throw a little ecto in there off to the side, like coming in?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Have the cop cars like, I don't know, cattywampus, and then have the lights going, have the sirens going. Yeah, I want it to be pretty big.
Very cool. I'm excited to see it. Anything Ghostbusters is always a win.
Nice. I agree. As we know.
Yes, that's how we actually met, kind of sort of that way, through the Orlando Ghostbusters at a convention a couple years ago.
That's right.
That
was like 10 years ago.
Oh my God. Shh. Stop.
Oh,
You're making me feel old. Let's go with a couple.
Okay. That's my bad.
We'll go with a couple years and leave it at that. But yeah, man. So very cool. You do, again, check Cremated Plastic out on Instagram. We've got you through Facebook. You're on Instagram. Are you on Twitter?
No, I do not tweet.
Oh.
I thought about it, but I don't know how to tweet. Does Twitter do pictures?
Yes, you can do pictures on Twitter. I forget about Twitter a lot, and that's what a lot of people are using Twitter and Instagram more so than Facebook anymore. But I forget about it. But you can, of course, do like all your hashtags. You can do pictures. You can do links. You can do all the normal fun things that you would do through Instagram. The same way.
Then maybe I will look into the Twitter.
So the Twitter.
The Twitter.
I'm still trying to get used to using the Twitter on a daily basis, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram more than anything.
Oh yeah, Instagram all day. Facebook is second. Facebook is what? Facebook is cremated _ caps plastic, and then Instagram is just cremated plastic.
Okay. Very cool. And you were telling me you had some issues with Instagram. You had to kind of start over. So, people out there in the Facebook land, go ahead and give him a follow on Instagram and check out his stuff. He's got some really cool pictures of a lot of the things that he's worked on and is up there for grabs.
It's true. Yeah, mostly everything in the store is like made to order. So all the arcades from Horror Nights, those are all made to order. The Beetlejuice sign, I actually added that for a made to order item. I was only going to do about 5 of those, but the response to that sign was pretty overwhelming. So I was like, I'll offer it.
If you're a Universal fan and a Beetlejuice fan, the sign is definitely a must-get.
The Graveyard Review. Who doesn't miss that?
I miss it so much. I can't believe they stuck Fast and the Furious in there. I'm going to throw a little shade on that because screw that ride. I do miss some Beetlejuice.
I've never been on that ride. I refuse.
We've not done it either, and we've walked by and it's been a walk on, and we just look at each other and we're like, nope, it just keep on going. I'm like, you can't. It's based on principle. You can't get rid of something that fantastic and throw in a shit show.
You know what I would love to do? I would love to do Earthquake.
That would be cool.
I would love to do an Earthquake piece. That ride and King Kong were like my two favorite. Well, that and Back to the Future when I was like really small. So King Kong and Earthquake are definitely up there for me.
What about do you remember when they had the old Alfred Hitchcock experience?
Oh God, yeah.
That was my favorite. That would be a cool thing to do. Is like the Hitchcock or Norman Bates' house or the motel even.
Yeah. I kind of want to do. Okay, so we're switching from Universal to Disney. I'm terrified of doing Disney pieces because the Mouse House loves to sue people.
I have a lot of friends that do a lot of Disney-inspired pieces, and they get C&Ds all the time. So you just have to be careful how you label it. So you can create, like, inspired by this, or give it a different name, but obviously you know what it is. So there's ways around it. To my understanding, I don't fully know because I don't paint pretty pictures or make cool things. I just gab and go to places. But yeah, the Mouse, they get very, very happy with C&Ds, and you just gotta be careful how you word things.
Yeah. Well, I want to do the Haunted Mansion, but I want to do it so that the Mystery Machine is parked in front.
Yes.
I think that would be awesome.
That would be. Now, would you include the Mystery Machine in with that piece?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, just have the Mystery Machine parked out in front of the Haunted Mansion.
That would be. Now, are you talking the Orlando Haunted Mansion or the one in Paris or Tokyo? I think it's Tokyo or Japan.
Or the original in Anaheim.
Yes. You can do them as a set.
I would probably stick with Orlando.
I am very, very partial to our Haunted Mansion here.
I think it looks the best. Definitely looks the best. I don't like Anaheim's look. I think Orlando's it's super gothic. It's super awesome. It has those awesome windows. You could do some pretty cool effects, like lightning inside the building, have flashing LEDs inside and stuff like that.
That would be awesome.
You have the little Mystery Machine parked out in front with its headlights on.
That would be really cool. I love that. I love that idea.
I was planning to build that for Spooky if I went to Spooky.
Oh. Spooky's still happening. They're doing a show in August in Orlando at the Wyndham. That's still a thing.
Yeah.
And then I believe they've got their October show, which is the same weekend as the convention
Mini
I
Meg.
will not name, is the same weekend.
Oh.
So it's kind of a lot of people are having to pick and choose, and if you're a fan of one, you'll go to that one, what have you. But yeah, they're still doing that one, but that one is going to be over in Tampa.
Yeah.
So Orlando,
Which is close to me, but if I go to MegaCon in October, I can still go to Horror Nights.
yes, you can, which is still a go.
Oh,
So I'm excited to see what they do and
Yeah.
how they handle this year with all the different shenanigans going on, as it were, in today's world.
it's going to be it's going to be way different. That's for sure.
Yes. Where I think we're going to get a lot of mirrors this year as opposed to a lot of the characters. I think that the street performers are going to be basically up and away if they do them for the scare zones. I don't really foresee them being as in your face as they've been in the past.
I could see a lot of them on like those bungee ropes where they just swing in front of you.
I love when they do that.
Heck yeah, right?
It's one of my things when I go into a haunt and I see somebody on the bungee rope and they kind of like pounce at you and then pounce away. I love that. It's one of my favorite things.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's whatever they do, I'm sure they're going to pull it off, and I'm sure they've planned this since, when this first started in February. They probably switched gears and they're like, "We got this. We can do this. We're Universal Creative. We can do anything."
Oh yeah, and they do every year. They pull it out. If not, one thing or the other. Now, have you thought about doing any other pieces that are maybe themed towards Horror Nights other than the arcades?
Oh God, yeah. I really want to do Graveyard Games, and I really want to do the Yeti.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, here you go.
Graveyard Games was probably my favorite house. On
So
top
I'm
of
working
Killer
on
Clowns.
this right now.
Ooh, is that the tribute store?
It is the tribute store. I'm working on the Horror Nights tribute store and also the Mardi Gras tribute store.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, I can't afford your stuff. And so I'm making economy dioramas, let's say.
A little more
small.
affordable to the average
Right.
Joe and not necessarily that hardcore collector.
Right, exactly. So those will probably be right around 100, probably maybe less, maybe 75 to 100.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No. So it's going to be the main sign. I'll probably have some foliage out front, make it look all like haunted, and then
Spooky.
probably backlit with colored lights. Like for Horror Nights, I'll probably do orange lights and then Mardi Gras purple.
Yeah, because
Because Mardi Gras.
Because Mardi Gras. And
Perfect.
that was actually really cool. We went into the Mardi Gras store this year, and that was the first year that they've done that. And it reminded me of Graveyard Games because it had all the friggin' tombstones and stuff in them.
Oh, that whole set in that store was from Graveyard Games.
That was a
was
great reuse.
Oh yeah. That's still hands down the best house of the year for me.
Oh, it was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. The scares were great. The lighting was great. Everything in that house was awesome.
The urns with the flipping lids, like literally flipping lids.
And the dolls that would
Yeah.
just like light and then start to move as you're walking down the one hallway was awesome.
Oh yeah. That was by far my most favorite house of the year.
Yeah.
Even though Ghostbusters was there, that definitely took the cake.
Ghostbusters was beautiful looking. It had some really cool little details that I noticed and I appreciated. There were a couple of things that I was a little disappointed with, like Gozer. They didn't really... I don't know. That whole part of it was just the screen and then her. That kind of lost it a little bit for me. I was like, damn, they could have had the Terror Dogs and a whole bunch of other stuff there, but they didn't really...
I just don't think they had the room.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You gotta think back to the hell was that called? Spook Central? Spooktacular, the show they had.
Yes.
That stage was the entire temple top. I mean that was a big area.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. What about Killer Clowns? They were awesome.
They were awesome, and I offered Killer Clowns Arcade.
Yes.
That was supposed to be the convention exclusive this year, because when I originally did arcades in October, I didn't offer Killer Clowns for that reason. So that was supposed to be an exclusive, and then the world ended. So I brought Killer Clowns. So I do offer arcades that are Universal Monsters, Ghostbusters, or Killer Clowns.
Nice.
No Stranger Things.
No Stranger Things?
No, I miss an yeah, I fucked myself there. I didn't realize how popular Stranger Things was. I don't think I even did that house once this year because I just didn't care. And everybody asked me about Stranger Things.
I love the show. The house was kind
Show.
of a miss for me last year, unfortunately. I mean, all the sets always look pretty at Universal. I
Yeah.
love them. They're gorgeous, and I don't go to
Oh
get
yeah,
scared. I go for the scenic. Um,
me too.
and we went through it, I think, once. We waited in it. It was like a 40-minute wait, and it was the lowest it had been for the longest time. So we were like, we'll wait, and then we got drenched. It just downpoured, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. The one time, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
No, I every time I saw the line, it was like 105 minutes, and I was like, nope.
It was 105 minutes when they opened out the corrals during Stay and Scream.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
was-
I was like, you could do Ghostbusters twice in that amount of time.
Yeah, and that's what we did when we went. The first time we went, we did that. We did the corral thing, and we did Ghostbusters was the first house.
Yep, same here. And then I love the Yeti house. I thought that house was really good.
Yeti was very cool. I did enjoy, and like cool looking and nice and ice cold.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. It was great, especially if you're big like me and you just sweat everywhere. It's
I
fantastic.
mean, it's Florida. It's hot, man. You're gonna
I
sweat
just-
no
I
matter.
just
You walk out of the
understand-
house and you're just soaked. It happens.
Every day, every day. Yeah, every single day.
Now, are you still going to do the Killer Clowns Arcade as an exclusive when you do vend at MegaCon, or are you open that up now so that, you know, if Joe Schmo wants to like go ahead and buy it now, he can go ahead and grab it?
No, I've Killer Clowns has become easily the most popular one I offer. So that's for anybody who wants it right now.
Good. Go to the...
So if you buy it on the website, just send me a message about which arcades you want, either Killer Clowns, Monsters, or Ghostbusters. So that's definitely the hottest item I have. Those things sell like hotcakes.
They're cool looking. I'm a fan of them.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah. Do you have one nearby?
I don't. I have to start the next batch this weekend.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, do you
You
usually
have no
do
idea.
hand paint the arcades, or do you have like a shimmy?
A shimmy.
I don't know what it's called. A little thingy.
No shimmies over here. Okay, so the real arcades were in the gift shop of the Mummy.
Yes.
And I spent 3 hours photographing that thing from every angle,
Oh wow.
just to get like dead set images, and because I knew I wanted to make them because they just looked amazing.
Yeah.
So I brought my camera and I just kind of hunkered down and took pictures of every single angle I possibly could.
I'm kind of sad they didn't end up selling them.
What? What's that?
The arcades Universal. I was surprised they didn't just toss them in the oh god, you know, their one store where they sell all the memorabilia and stuff.
Yeah. The prop shop?
Yes.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah, they sold a Monsters one. It was $3,000.
Jesus, if I had the cash. That thing was awesome. I didn't even see it in the prop shop, so it must have been gone like super fast.
Yeah. When did I go? Last time I went, it was still there because I got additional pictures because I was like score. So I cleaned up some of the pictures I had, and I got a little bit better pictures because the lighting wasn't so harsh as it is in the Mummy gift shop.
Yeah, it's a little rough in there.
But
It's a little rough in there, the lighting in the Mummy gift shop,
Oh,
as
yeah.
opposed to in the prop shop.
yeah, so yeah, it's totally. Last time I checked, it was still there. I think they knocked it down to, I forgot how much it is now, but it started off at $3,000.
And it's big too. It's not little. It's not like you can just buy it and toss it in a closet somewhere. Like, you need the space for it.
Oh yeah, it's almost like a full arcade cabinet. It is a full arcade cabinet. It was amazing.
It's really cool. I dug them a lot. I ran in there specifically because somebody was like, "Oh, check those out," and I ran in there and I was like, "Wow, those are awesome." So I love the fact that she created, you know, the dioramas out of them. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I had the moment I saw him, I was like, I want to make you. So I did.
That's back to that selfishness again. Like, I like you. I'm gonna make you for me.
Pretty much, exactly.
See, that's awesome. And I've got a lot of friends that create things and they make things, and they seem to enjoy it a lot more when it's something that they're really passionate about, like,
Oh
Ghostbusters
yeah.
or Beetlejuice or, something horror or whatever their thing is.
Yeah, if one day I will do Dante's Inferno from Beetlejuice.
And I will buy it
Oh,
because
perfect. The list now.
I put it on the list because, oh my god, that's probably one of my favorite scenes from Beetlejuice. And what was it, last Spooky in May? We did a group and we had a Spiky Beetlejuice was our friend John, and then myself, my friend Robbie, my friend Meg were the three whores from Dante's Inferno.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this is perfect. Now we need the whole background thing, so a miniature that would be really badass.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I definitely want to make Dante's Inferno. There's a lot from Beetlejuice I actually want to make, but one thing at a time.
Yeah, you gotta kind of like pace yourself on those types of things.
Yeah, I figure if the world gets back to normal and we actually have conventions again, I'll do stuff like the same stuff for like a year, and then I'll switch it up the next year. So if people are interested and they can't afford it at that time, they have other opportunities. After that year is over, then it's going to be retired. So
Grab it for that year, and then after that, too
yeah,
bad, so sad.
after that, no. Yeah, pretty much. So like the arcades, Beetlejuice sign, that's all going to be gone by the first of the year because I'll have all new stuff.
Oh, okay. See, I like that you're doing that. You're kind of doing that limited time only thing, so it helps also to create that demand for, oh, I need to snag that while it's still available.
Exactly. Kind of. Yes.
Now, if hypothetically, let's say you stopped making them and like somebody was like, "Come on, dude, just do one more. I need it in my life." Would you go ahead and do it?
Probably, but it wouldn't be the first thing I would want to do because I've already made 20 arcades.
Oh wow.
And I'm pretty much over it. But you have till the end of the year to get one if you want one.
All right. So yeah, make sure that you guys, if you're interested in one of those arcades or even seeing more of Griffin's work, make sure that you're checking out his Facebook page and his Instagram, Cremated Plastics, or Cremated Plastic, no S. Sorry. I like to add an S to things. I don't know why. So his logo's down at the bottom here. Cremated Plastic. I love him. He's awesome. So, where did you come up with the name?
Okay, so the
I know
name.
the story.
The story. So the plastics part, when I first started, like I said, I did toy photography. Toys are made out of plastic. So that's where the plastic came from. And the cremated part is, that's my day job. I am a cremation operator.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of put the two together so you get cremated plastic.
Nice. That's a fun way to kind of combine your love fun job, as it were, and then your actual, oh, I'm going to work today job.
My more morbid job, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of in the eye of the beholder there on whether how morbid that really is.
No, I completely agree with that, yeah.
I remember being a kid, I was like, I wanted to be a mortician so bad when I was little, and my parents were like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "What do you mean what's wrong with me? Nothing. This is what I want to do." And then I was like, and then in high school, I was just like, "Damn, that's a lot of schooling."
Oh, it's not too bad in Florida. It's only like 2 years.
See, that's not bad. At one point, I was thinking about moving back up to New York, and there it's a lot.
Okay.
Anything
yeah.
up there is like triple of what it is for Florida. Florida's very chill and very lax on a lot of stuff. So I was like,
True.
And it's something that I still kind of think about. So maybe one day when I get older, I'll be like, "Oh, the hell with it," and then I'll go back and play in a morgue somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, so it keeps me busy. So when I'm at the fun home, I'm doing that, and then when I'm here, I'm making the cool stuff.
Very awesome. Now, do you normally set aside some dedicated time to do it, or are you just kind of chilling and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna work on some stuff tonight"?
No, I try to do it every single day. I've been kind of lax lately, but my routine was I worked 6 to 3 at the fun home. I would come home, take a 4-hour nap, and then wake up, and then work up until right before I have to go back to work.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I like how you don't call it going to sleep. You're like, I just take a nap.
Yeah. Einstein took a nap. All the greats take a nap. Naps are wonderful.
You're right. You're right. I mean, I do like a good nap. I'll admit it. That's for sure. All right.
Yeah, so that was my regimen for a couple 6 months,
Oh wow.
and then it kind of got lax.
Sometimes it's okay to kind of reel it back a little bit, take a little bit of a mini break, so to speak.
Sure, I would agree.
All right, boys and girls. So I want to go ahead and take a quick second here and open it up to the chat to see if anybody has any questions for Griffin about any of his work, or I mean, heck, even maybe a suggestion would be fun. You know, never hurts to suggest cool things. I personally really like the Norman Bates house idea. You could do cool stuff with that. You could stick a mother up there and do some flashy lights.
Oh
in with
yeah,
her.
absolutely, absolutely. Or Adam's Family. Any of those houses are awesome.
It's because they're all spooky houses, and spooky houses are the best houses.
It would be kind of cool if you got all those houses together and like put them on a cul-de-sac, like just built a cul-de-sac and then put all the awesome classic like horror haunted houses on it.
That would be cool. So instead of okay, let's go take it back to the train store. So how people have like their model trains, instead you just build a spooky cul-de-sac.
Exactly.
And you just have a section in your house of all these really cool miniatures that Griffin can make for you.
Yeah, you have like Norman Bates' house. You have the Haunted Mansion if you want. You have Adam's Family. Have it all just in one little nice little circle.
One little corner. The monsters.
And then, the monsters. And then in the middle, you can have like a little grassy area, and that leads to like Edward Scissorhands' castle or something.
Or you have like a pond in the back, and there's Creature from the Black Lagoon just kind of chilling.
That would be awesome, actually. That would be really cool.
That needs to be a thing. Somebody needs to commission this. I'm just saying. You can make it happen, folks.
Start a Kickstarter.
Start a Kickstarter on creating this spooky cul-de-sac with all these classic, home iconic characters.
Yeah, that's what you call it. Spooky cul-de-sac. Coming to you soon.
I like it. I would want to live in a spooky cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I think I would too.
That would be awesome. All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here with you. Again, if you guys want to check out more of Cremated Plastic, Instagram and Facebook are going to be your favorite places to go. Again, he does commissions. He's still taking sales on those arcade games where you can pick your design as far as Universal Monsters goes, or Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and what was the third one?
Ghostbusters.
I'm shaming myself right now for forgetting that.
It's okay.
By the way, I feel horrible because that's one of my favorite things. So thank you so much for taking some time out of your evening and for chatting with me. I greatly appreciate it. And, thank you so much, and I hope that you have a great night.
You too.
Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, hit the little heart button down, hit that like button, and don't forget to make sure to head on over and give Cremated Plastic a like on Facebook and follow the Instagram. And until next time, boys and girls, stay spooky.